Everybody, welcome to Castor'sCorner.com. I'm your host Cleo here for another toy of the day here on our YouTube channel. And today's review is one of the Transformers. We got the new Transformer tracks here. And you can check out a full gallery of tracks up on Castor'sCorner.com. You can follow us. We are at Castor's Corner on all social media. You can check out the Cornercast podcast up on Apple Podcasts, part 2 of our Long Island trip this week. You can check out our shirts. Everything's in the description below. You click on the links and find everything from the podcast to the social media to the website with the gallery, the post for this, everything there. So go there. So I'm going to be talking about tracks today. And this video is going to be called Cleo Struggles with Another Transformer. Some of them are really intuitive. Some of them just not so much. And I think this is a case for me where I looked at my investment in this line, so the Kingdom line. By the way, it is a much more royal blue than you're seeing right here. It's kind of like a little bit of a muted blue, but faded. But it's a much brighter, deeper blue. You'll see in the gallery. But I felt like knowing that Kingdom, the Siege, the War for Cybertron, Earthrise, the trilogy was ending this year. Knowing that, I kind of went all in, thinking, why not get them all? Like, I saw the show, really enjoyed it. Like, why not pick up what they had to offer? Because who knows when they're going to do the scale again. Then the news came out that they're going to continue the scale into 2022 with whatever their new theme is going to be. And yes, I've seen some of the leak lists and the retailer lists, but we're not going to discuss those. And so I'm excited for those. But it definitely made me go in on this. And so I don't have really a history with tracks. I don't know much about him as a car, as a character. Blue car, can fly, really cool idea. I like, sure, what the hell. I've liked all the cars so far. And so he's got a flight mode. So he's got the car mode here. You'll notice that like there's a little bit of space here in between the bumper and the fenders here. A little bit of space on the door. Overall, I'm not that impressed. I have one of the fins in the back keeps clipping off pretty easily. And so how do I say this? Because I don't have a deep connection to the character, don't really know much about the character besides the fact that he's a flying car and he's got wings. I don't really have like this connection to it like I would with Wheeljack or Bumblebee or any number of the other of the Autobots or even the Decepticons for that matter. And so this is the flight mode. Right here with the wings out. Blasters, wings. And it's got a nice little, it's got a bar in the middle, which is kind of like his spine for the figure. And so it's easy to kind of hold it there. You can probably, put it on a flight stand. It would look pretty cool there. But I had a hard time, surprise, surprise, transforming this one. But here's the thing. I did it completely because I lost the instructions. They're somewhere in the mess that is behind me. So I did this just on my own. I figured it out. So I will give him this. The transformation is very intuitive, but not precise. There's a lot of gaps in this guy. And I have a feeling it's a little bit of my fault because not doing it correctly. But it's not the typical car transformation that we've seen with some of the other Transformer cars, to be honest with you. It's slightly different. So because of that, it doesn't it's not as easy. And you'll see I am going to attempt to turn him into a robot right in front of your eyes as I'm talking to you. So we'll see what happens. That's never a good sound. But he's actually not too difficult to actually transform. You can see he's already there for the most part. So that's the nice part about it, is that it's not that difficult to transform him. But I don't know. I just wasn't crazy about him. I just wasn't. He's good. He's good. He's, decent car, decent addition to the Autobots for sure. Decent addition to the line as a whole. but not one of those that I look at and go, oh God, yeah, no, I definitely need him in my collection for sure. And so you can see kind of the legs are flipping out here. They open up. And then the biggest problem I have had has been with the legs themselves. They have been relatively difficult to get into the right position. And although I'm not popping a lot of parts when I'm doing the transformation here, it's not the smoothest. Like I look at how well they did Bumblebee, and I look at how well they did some of the other characters, and Wheeljack, Smokescreen, all of those, Red Alert, all of those really felt easy to transform and relatively good in robot mode. There we go. That's not bad. That wasn't too bad. I got him. So there he is, Trax in all his glory. And you know, I don't know. There's just something about him that just doesn't hold a candle to Optimus or Bumblebee. Even the last one, even the Origins Bumblebee we did a week or two ago. So there you go, Trax. He's got a double blaster and a single blaster. So the double here. And the single actually goes inside of that one, can connect to that one. Let's get this in the right position. Right spot. There we go. So I think he's good. I like the colors. I like the red face, the white helmet kind of look for him. The blue's very, very bright, very, very deep, very like royal blue, very. I'm just gonna keep saying very over and over again because it's one of those nights. But he just, for me, misses the mark. The other problem with him is, and this is kind of funny because he's not going to do it here, but when you're trying to stand him up, the legs kind of, if you put any pressure on them at all, they, you know, and you're trying to kind of center him or trying to get it, they kind of splay off, and this is what you get. So I don't know if it's a case of mine just not clicking into the right parts, or what's going on with it, but the legs definitely are a lot wobblier than the other ones, a lot looser, and so that's a little bit of a disappointment too. That he's just so floppy overall. There's not a lot of there's not. So if you look at him, actually, as I'm kind of transforming him, if you look at him, there's not a lot there. Like the body itself is pretty hollow, and I think that's slightly different than the ones we've seen in the past, to be honest with you. I think they've been a little more solid in the past. He's just not. There's just not a lot going on in that midsection. Even when it does kind of come together, it still sits pretty open. And so I think that's an overall issue with him. And it just doesn't hold together. And really, the legs are just kind of... and I mean, just for example, like, this is a McFarlane, right? The legs aren't kind of... they're staying where they're supposed to be. Him, if I shake him, they just kind of go all over the place. So I think that's one of the major issues for me. Posing him out and getting him into poses and keeping him there, or balancing him has been an issue. And so I think that's the biggest thing. Aesthetically, he's gorgeous. I think he is. I think the bright colors, the yellows with the grays, I think everything is really well balanced. I think he's really well designed as far as like sculpt, right? But when you get down to like the transformation and some of the joints, they're not quite there. And then the final transformation doesn't seem to stick together. And I know that happens sometimes, a little too much plastic. If it's a little thick there, if it's a little thin, they don't match up right. And I'm willing to forgive it, like with my Rodimus back there that I'll talk about at some point soon. I'm just scared of doing Transformers on camera now. The canopy doesn't close all the way, but he's one of my favorite characters, and it's not that much of an issue. But when it's a character that you're not really invested in, and it's also not that great, that's kind of where it falls apart. So would I suggest getting him? If you're a fan of him, yes, get him. If you're a completist for the line, get him. If you're on the fence, I might wait for clearance. It's my thought. I probably should have. I pre-ordered the whole wave at once, and they kind of came in drips and drabs. But I don't know. It's hard. It's not like I'm saying don't go out and buy them, but I'm just saying like just know what you're getting when you open the box. I guess that's it. So you can check out a full gallery of tracks, all the modes, on castorscorner.com. You can follow us. We are at Castors Corner. You can check out the Cornercast podcast. You can check out our t-shirts up on TeePublic. All the links are down below. Please hit the subscribe button. We really appreciate all of our new subscribers. Welcome to the page. We've seen a bump in the last couple weeks, and we're really excited to have you here. And we enjoy your feedback and comments, so keep putting them there. The more of you that subscribe, the more cool things we get to do, and we get to share them with you. We get to have these kind of conversations. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow night for another Toy of the Day here on castorscorner.com. Have a good night, everybody.